Hey everybody, welcome again to another episode of Just for Fun Games. My name's Azzy, that's my boy Roy, and today we are talking post E3. What we liked, what we didn't like, and was it worth it to have an E3 this year at all anyway? Uh so as a general sense, let's tackle that last question real quick. Did you think that we should have had this E3 this year? Like, do you think that there was enough to actually show off that justified E3? Like
I mean,
E3 as we would not expect it any other year as opposed to last year, obviously.
did we need an E3? Maybe not,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was still fun. You know, I mean, Sony wasn't there. That's the only downside about it because they hadn't been to E3 since what 2018, 2017, something like that. Um,
No, I get that. And I put my money behind your prediction that we're probably going to see a state of play in July where they can own all the attention and put out whatever they want or without it competing with anything else.
yeah, because right
It makes the
now,
most sense.
yeah, because right now they got there's a rumor for July 8th for a state of play thing, which I wouldn't be surprised because right now the reason why I said they want to be a state of play during this week because Microsoft and Nintendo they got all the attention right now. And
Yep.
like I said, Sony sitting on the sideline are like what they got up their sleeve right now. Thank God Breath of the Wild's not coming out this year. So if Horizon was to come out, do it now. Do it. uh
Oh, I mean, Nintendo's press conference was fine for Nintendo. I mean, it seemed to be of the level of what I expected out of a Nintendo Direct. There wasn't anything particularly shocking.
no
I know that plenty of people that are upset that Bayonetta 3 wasn't mentioned at all, and Metroid Prime 4 is still uh, Adam Sessler, the game journalist god that he is, said in his post E3 commentary that the one thing you really have to remember is that if you're disappointed, you have to remember that everything practically stopped last year. A lot of game development uh, adjusted, for the pandemic, but it threw a wrench. Sorry, thought of Ratchet and Clank for a moment. It threw a wrench in damn near everyone's plans. So if you were hoping to see something at this E3 and it wasn't there, that's more than likely the culprit. So everyone's just got to be a little more patient. I get that, but you know what? Sony had a year where they didn't have shit, so they put out a message saying that they were not. This is before they decided they weren't going to be at E3 at all. They put out a message saying that they weren't going to be at E3 because they didn't have anything to show. And I respect that decision more than I'd say like Capcom or
Hey, look, I'm glad I was at work and I wasn't
80% of
at home trying to watch that crap because I would have been like, now I called the whole Resident Evil Village DLC happening. I knew that was happening, but you just telling me, oh yeah, there's DLC coming. We ain't got nothing to show you though. Show me something.
it was no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The moment like they announced a new Phoenix Wright game collection that's coming to the West. And I enjoy those games. Nobody wants to see gameplay of those games. It's basically solitaire. The moment they started going into it's like, let's check out some gameplay. It's like, oh my god, it's 15 minutes of Phoenix Wright. Why? Why are you wasting our time with this?
Like I said, I'm glad I didn't watch it. Um, but yeah, like I said, Sony they sitting on the sidelines. I feel like they're gonna see what Microsoft and Nintendo are up to, and then you had just released Ratchet and Clank. That's still kind of marinating. That's like so much info that's packed in right now. So I let that get some breathing room there too. So we'll see what happens
Yeah,
after. We'll see what happens after upcoming weeks because
that's kind of like the modus operandi when you think about it. They let Microsoft loves to make the first move. They let Microsoft make that first move and then love to try to cut them off at the knees.
yeah. Uh, I didn't put it in here, but if we want to go ahead and start talking about picks and stuff, this is not necessarily a single game pick. but talking about Xbox's conference in general, I was actually impressed. Very impressed with what they had. And not the fact
Yeah,
that they had games, most of these games, Game Pass. Like, if you don't have
yeah,
a Game Pass right now, now's the time to get one. Because,
yeah.
like Back for Blood, wasn't looking forward to that game. Game Pass. I could play it day
Why
one.
not?
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
not?
Exactly. It's
That's
there.
kind of the idea. I think, to be honest, like I'm sure the majority of my social circle think that I just bash on Microsoft because I'm a fanboy, Sony
Hey,
fanboy.
hey,
I
look.
have allegiances. I do have allegiances, but like I keep saying, I'm just waiting for something to sell me on the system. Why do I need to get a system? I need to get that system. And I'm not gonna say Back for Blood is going to get me to rush out and try to find an Xbox Series X. It's not. But even from my standpoint, they had a good show.
Yeah. I mean,
Granted, that's with some caveats. It was a good show, but let's remember there were a lot of those games that were launch exclusives. Let's do the two launch exclusives, and a lot that weren't exclusives at all. Like if we were to get right into our picks real quick, I think a game that you and I were both really excited about was Hades, because looking from the outside in, that game looks really great. Just didn't want to play it on the Switch though. It was
I
like,
mean,
please come out of the PlayStation.
PC was right
The
there,
moment,
but I mean, but we want this motherfucker on console. We finally got it.
yeah, the moment I saw that trailer during Microsoft's press conference, I raced to my computer because I was watching on my TV.
It's like
It's like,
not
hold on,
Xbox
hold on,
exclusive.
hold on. It's like, okay. The moment that shit went live, PlayStation threw up their own trailer saying, "Don't worry, it's coming up on system too."
Yeah, it's funny. I went and
But
already
there was,
pre-ordered mine. I was like,
as you should.
I did physical. I was like, I know the physical copies of this game is going to get blown out of proportion, so let me go ahead and pre-order it.
Yeah, no. Uh, so yeah, there was a lot that I actually really liked from the Microsoft press conference. Then let's go ahead and start with the ones that you and I both basically share. And one we can definitely agree on is the only thing from the Square Enix press conference that had legitimacy
Now,
is the Guardians of the Galaxy.
now I'm gonna speak right now. It's early footage. You know, they're still working on this game. This game did not look that great. You know, frames were dropping. Things. It was messy.
Okay, yeah.
Animations.
You're right.
Animations felt like I think this was probably how Rocket was talking. It's like, hey, Peter Quill, what are you doing? You know, it was weird.
Damn,
But
full Johnny Five.
it's me, Johnny Five. But no, but it was intriguing because, you know, this game is a single player driven story game, and I'm kind of iffy about it because one, there's no multiplayer, which okay, I can deal with it. They probably is like, no, Avengers is going to be our multiplayer thing. But
Well,
it's
they're
kind of
made by
weird.
two different companies. Let's remember they're made by two different companies. Crystal Dynamics is the one that developed Marvel's Avengers, and this is being developed by
IDOS.
oh, there we go. Yeah.
But yeah, like watching the gameplay footage, and you know, you can kind of control the other characters, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of like Final Fantasy, like, you know, be like, here, do this attack on this character. I mean, it's interesting, but I'm somewhat not sold on it, but it did look good.
I'm actually very optimistic.
Yeah,
I'm very optimistic about the because like what they described to us, what they showed off. You're right about the frames dropping and the visuals not exactly being there. That could all be punched up long before the game comes out. But like as a guy who plays like it played damn near every single Telltale game, I played Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy, and this just reminded me of it. You have these decisions and you're juggling your teammates viewpoints on the matter and their relationship status effectively, all the while having an action-based combat system. It makes me think like honestly, I'm saying back thing is like this could work. like this could work a lot better than Marvel's Avengers. Like imagine if Marvel's Avengers was a single player game, or at least at the or I mean it
I don't know, man. We'll see.
still.
We'll see because
No,
like
I,
I'm still
I
having
remember hearing a lot of the like there was like the consistent complaint. One that I agree with is that like the I'm kind of iffy on on some of the designs for the different characters, uh, because the MCU is in the zeitgeist, you know. So when we think of Rocket's voice, we're thinking of Bradley Cooper. Sadly, that's just
Yeah.
how it is. And when we think of Rocket's appearance, he doesn't have a beaded goatee, but there are other costumes, and
Hey,
I'm willing to overlook that because it's being at the very least it's not classic Rocket. I've never liked classic Rocket, but I like Groot. Star Lord looks great. I wish he didn't have pads on his jacket. But those are just nitpicks. The other complaint that I hear from people is that they're upset that you can't swap between the other members of the Guardians,
yeah.
thinking that they would have liked to have played as them. It's like, yeah, but you're playing. The point is, you're playing as Star Lord, and they want because the interrelationships between your team members is so crucial to the Guardians. You need to play it from someone's perspective. You can't just keep swapping characters and then making dialogue choices
Well,
that
I
then
mean,
affect like Star Lord or something like
yeah,
that.
I mean, you could play the story parts with. I would rather be like, okay, I play the story parts with, Star Lord, and then when it came to the combat, maybe be able to like Final Fantasy VII styles, switch between the characters
I
and
see what
stuff
you're
like
saying.
that. You know what I mean? Still be based around Peter Quill, just like if it was gonna go that like basically Final Fantasy VII combat route. If fucking Peter Quill dies, I could still play as Gamora or Rocket or something like that. But I don't know. We didn't see anybody die in the trailer.
They never specifically said that wasn't a possibility.
I mean, they didn't show it as far as
They showed,
gameplay. And I'm about to say this game
and
comes out in October, so you got very little time to show some stuff. So I don't
I
know.
mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Uh,
I'm actually hopefully optimistic about this game.
now before we move on, because you know more about Guardians of the Galaxy than I do. Who's the villain? The chick in this trailer, the villain. Do you know her?
Nope.
Okay, is this something like new?
I saw bits and pieces of other characters that show up in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not talking about just the movie because we saw what's her name?
Mantis.
Mantis. We saw Mantis, and what I was happy about it was oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Uh,
Actor, character.
is it
Drax.
Astro?
Oh yeah, the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm sorry. You're gonna. I know I'm giving you more things to edit. Uh, Cosmo. I was gonna
Cosmo.
call him Astro. I was gonna call him Astro. I saw Cosmo the dog, and I actually love Cosmo the dog because in the comics, Cosmo the dog has telepathic powers. He was a Russian experiment that was sent off into space and just never came back. But he has a severely foul mouth and like greater than human intelligence, and he's constantly bickering with Rocket. So I'm really hoping that they actually do something with
Yeah.
him.
See, I was hoping you would give me info on the villain because the character model for the villain, the main one is like that's how many times do I have to kill you? She looks exactly like the main character from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If you play Cassandra, she's just looks the same model, same hair, everything. I'm not 100% on the voice. It sounds almost the same, but I'm like, yo, did they just take the same base model and put it into another game? That's pretty fucking dope. I mean, I like more Cassandra, but if she's playing the bad guy this time, so I'm gonna have to take her down.
The closest character I could think of is Angela, and that's definitely not Angela. Angela was a character who was originally in the Spawn comics that came over, and she's canonically Thor's sister, but she would become a member of the Guardians for an extended period of time, even leading the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a spin-off comic. But nah, I'm sorry. I'm actually feel pretty confident that she's new for the game.
Okay.
if I had to guess, but that's just a guess. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to a game that I feel like it's not what you wanted, but
Hey, look, it's the perfect damn title. There is no last night, but it's being
yeah, it is.
replaced.
I didn't think of that. That's good. That's good. That's good.
It is being
So
replaced.
replaced hits that like Lucas Arts games, nostalgia, Monkey's Island, Loom, Maniac Mansion, all that shit. And I mean, hell if we know what the gameplay is like, but like we
And
see the aesthetic.
yeah, man, you just sold me with the like. Even though if it's not gameplay at all, you have me bit just on the style of this game. I
Yeah,
like that. Like,
yeah,
oh, I see. That's the thing I'm bit on nowadays. If it looks old school and it has that like 16-bit, 32-bit look to it, I'm gonna check it out. And this is basically almost like the last night.
yeah.
Just and it's more. It's not the whole cyberpunk look to it. It's got a little bit of that, but it's more
I
got
still,
that apocalyptic theme almost.
I still want the last night though.
Yeah, I do too. But this unless you're gonna show me this trailer and this game doesn't come out either, I'm gonna be pissed because now I'm gonna be waiting on two games. I'm like, I'm still waiting on the last night. Now I'm gonna be waiting on Replace. But looking at the trailer right now,
It would be funny. It would actually be funny if Replaced is the last night. Like they had to. The reason why we haven't seen so much of it is that they perhaps had to halt production and then switch around the idea, and they came to an entirely new product, so they changed the name. It's not like it
it's
hasn't
two
happened
different.
before.
Yeah, it's two different studios.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like that's how we got Overwatch. To be completely honest, Overwatch was originally going to be the next MMO to succeed World of Warcraft. It was going to be sci-fi based, and in the middle of production, they were like, "Okay, this isn't going to work," and they reorganized it into what we now know as Overwatch. So, the next game that we wanted to talk about that's on our shared list is one that we, at least for me, is pulling a lot of inside energy. And
It's made by the
I
same
just want to
people.
play
Same people.
exactly. Exactly. And I just want to play it because I want to find out what happens to these people. It's called Somerville. If you didn't see the trailer, it's
Playing
a
right now.
2D it's a 2D side scrolling kind of adventure title where a husband, a wife, their kid, and their dog are trying to survive in what appears to be a world that's being invaded by aliens. It's hard to tell, but with these types of games made by this company, it's always hard to tell what the hell's going on a bit.
Yeah,
But it pulls you in with that style.
yeah.
Like it's like it's gonna be the same kind of like puzzle based gameplay that we remember from their previous two titles.
Yeah.
But
Because Limbo and Inside, like I didn't know what the fuck the game. Like I still haven't even beat those games, backlog games.
hey, yeah, no, I remember getting stuck on Limbo. If anybody could tell me how to get past the big ass spider, that's what keeps murdering me.
Damn, the beginning. That's the beginning of the
No,
game.
no, 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 no. It's later on in the game you had to deal with that fucker again. Uh, but um, but no, it's just like I have that same kind of energy that I get out of any kind of thriller. I just almost like almost like a quiet place. I just want to find out what happens to these people if they end up okay.
Yeah.
It's like shit. You can't when you inject a little kid and a dog, suddenly everyone's invested.
Uh, I mean, we'll see what the game looks
Yeah,
like at the end final product because shit changes.
and of course on both of our shared lists, and honestly, it's mostly surprising to me that I've taken such an interest in it. The
Surprise.
lauded game, the lauded game that everybody has been waiting for some kind of news on ever since they heard that George R. Martin was going to be writing for this game or contributing to the game. We don't really know how to what capacity he's actually contributing. Elden Ring. It is made by From Software. It is going to be the latest Souls-like game, and it just looks amazing. The style of it. Apparently, it's going to be semi-open world. It's going to have a bunch of skills that you, the player, can utilize. Like the monster design in this.
Hey, look, vouching for most of these From Software games, Besides Sekiro, I didn't like that game. Fuck that game. I hate it. If I could take it back to Hollywood Video, I would spit on that game too and take it back. But yeah, I mean, like if you want to play games like Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, this is gonna be up your alley too, which you need to play. But seeing this, I could tell. I feel like this is going to be more story driven. Yeah, playing these games, about to say most of the lore between like Demon Souls and Bloodborne, the story is basically you have to like kind of look for it. It's not basically being told to you. You know, you can play like Bloodborne and Demon Souls, run through the game not knowing what any of these characters mean or anything. But this one, like I said, I feel like this one they're gonna throw the story more at you. And being like a bit more open world, that's going to be exciting too, because mostly the Souls games, it's like a level. You go through that level, come out, you do another level, you know, you can go back and forth and, you know, hey, I couldn't fight this guy before, but now I got some upgraded shit.
There seems to be an obsession with arms and hands and shit. There's lots of like, there's a lot of hand shit.
You'll see about say you like I said, if this is going to
like
be
a fucking finger spider,
if this is going to be your first From Software Souls kind of game, you're going to see the weirdest shit. You know what I mean? I'm telling you now, I've seen some weird shit playing these damn Souls games. You know, even I like it. Just the monster design is fucking insane.
I can remember succinctly exactly what I like verbally said as I'm watching that trailer because I tend to think aloud. It's like, oh, that's a really cool dragon. Did that dragon just catch lightning? Oh man, it caught my heart right there. It was like that was fucking awesome. No, it looked great. Moving on. Was this for the two of us? I'm wondering if this is just for me.
What pick did you get?
The Outer Worlds 2.
You know what? I think I didn't put that trailer in here. Hold
on. Well, I just want to I just want to make it a special mention because I appreciate the first game that came out and what they did with the design of it. I thought it was really cool that it was effectively like a Fallout, except that literally how you played shaped your character and their strengths and weaknesses. So if you kept falling from a tall height, your character would literally get like brittle bones and would take more damage from fall damage. I thought that was really cool.
Wait a minute. Did you play Outer Worlds?
Outer Worlds?
Yeah.
No. I never really had an interest to play it, but I really appreciate it for its design and the way they were really trying to push that RPG, those more almost old school RPG elements. But I wanted to bring up the Outer Worlds 2 as a special mention because like the trailer was shown during Microsoft Bethesda's press conference, and it's just amazing because the entire thing spoofs these pre-made, meant to build up excitement and drive engagement trailers, and it's just masterfully done.
And a scene with the main hero, which we can't show you his face because the game developers haven't finished making them yet.
Yeah, it's like, but it just rips the whole thing to shreds.
But and what we can't show you is the logo and the title.
No, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. They played that shit after they had just played like 7 of those trailers.
I was like, all right. Hold on for a second. Hold on, let me get back here because I gotta do some editing here. So we're gonna edit this out. All right, because for some reason I gotta keep going through the loop of games. All right, so shit.
Hey, you're cool.
Because now they put an undo button and it makes everything so much easier. All right.
I saw the update. I didn't see it. I did update it.
All right, go ahead. Start talking about your first pick.
Okay, so getting into our individual picks, I'm going to go ahead and start the whole thing, even though I talk way too much in these videos. Honestly, and again, this isn't saying necessarily this is a game that I would get the system for. I like making that caveat. I just really appreciate that it looked fucking gorgeous. A game that, from a franchise I'd honestly never even heard of, or just never crossed my mind. It's called Stalker 2. It seems to be set in a very post-apocalyptic Russia. Uh, the visuals, the lighting, the models, that was great. I mean,
Yeah.
I was sucked into that. Uh, what'd you
Now,
think? Did you see anything?
yeah, I'm playing the trailer right now. I did watch it too. Looks okay. I got the Series X, so I can try this out. Another Game Pass, so I get
Yeah,
to
yeah,
I
yeah.
get to play it. Very, I don't want to say Fallout looking kind of vibe to it.
Uh,
I mean,
if Fallout was more of a horror game, that's
yeah,
kind of the energy that I got from that.
yeah. I can't wait to try it out because, like I said,
Yeah,
it's like because now I got the Xbox over here, and it's like most of these
you're
games I
just
get.
honestly, you just want to feel something to fill that hole that Dead Space left.
Mm, this ain't giving off no Dead Space vibes at all.
No, of
Uh,
course not.
but it's like now I don't have to spend money on a game, and I can just download it on Game Pass and be like Hades. I didn't have to buy Hades on PS5. I could have got that on Game Pass, but it's the principle of getting the trophies for Hades. So
Nobody cares about achievements anymore. It's all about the trophies because they're intrinsically different. They sound like something that physically exists.
but if
But what about you, Roy? What's your first pick?
oh shit, see, there I go. Okay, there we go. So my first pick was a game that I didn't even think was going to get a sequel at all, and it was one of my favorite games. Hold up, shit! I just realized I didn't transition it. There we go. um, Called A Plague's Tale: Innocence. The first game was called Innocence. The new one's called Requiem.
Oh, I
This
mean,
is
I did see the trailer. This is definitely not something I was expecting to get a sequel to either.
yeah, because if you know me, I don't care for medieval stuff like Lord of the Rings, Skyrim. It's just not my vibe. But this game
It took him 5 years to try Game of Thrones.
yeah, it took me that long to watch that show, and it was a
I'm
bust.
so sorry.
It was a bust at the end. But this game has me excited because, like I said, I wasn't expecting it. I was hearing of a remaster of the first game, and so I was like, hell yeah, I'll get the remaster for that game instead. But a whole blown out sequel got me pumped because the story was good for the first game. Like I can't remember all the key details. I just know in the beginning, like some people run up in your family, kind of like it's almost like Game of Thrones kind of style. People run up in your family, kick your ass out of the fucking castle shit, and you got your brother along with for the ride, and he apparently can do. He's sick or something like that. It's been a while since I played this game, so I apologize. It's been a while since
It's like, okay. I think I'm getting it.
Yeah, but if you want to go
I mean,
ahead,
it was never a game I played myself, but I would have to agree. I didn't think that the original did well enough that a sequel would be warranted, but more power to you. My next pick is a game that I've actually been following for a long time because it started off as a Kickstarter, and it was essentially because Konami can't get off its ass to make a fucking video game instead of some pachinko machines. This was being created by many of the developers from the Suikoden franchise, which is a juggernaut among classic JRPGs. Is called Eiyuden Chronicles, and yet again, Microsoft scared the shit out of me, making me think that this was going to be something that was going to be only on the Xbox. It's kind of channeling the
Xenogears out of you.
Well, no, I was
That's what the vibe I gave off when I watched the trailer.
Well, yeah. That high fidelity 2D pixel art for the characters set in a 3D world. That's like Xenogears energy. That's Octopath Traveler kind of energy. If you want to go with something more recently, it's something I loved. Like the Suikoden franchise was a game that gave you not only a great main cast and a great story. Like every game was a war that you had to essentially handle in whatever way you could figure out at the time. And on the way, you could recruit 101 other or up to 101 other heroes, and even getting the getting the true ending, it actually involved making sure to recruit every single one of them while building up your home base. It was great. Like, it gave you a sense of progression as you recruited more people, because whatever your home base was would continue to expand as those people joined your side. So I cannot wait for this game. I had been waiting patiently for consistent updates, because about, honestly, 2019 they had updated that they had earned enough through Kickstarter to get the game onto the consoles, but they hadn't actually told us when or which consoles those would be. So I'm glad to get more information on this game that I've been waiting for far too long. I know it's like it'll be done when it's done, but I'm the impatient.
You got
gamer.
to, like, I'm looking at the release date. You got the first part, I guess, called Rising, coming out next year, and the other half 2023. So you got some time.
Yeah, I know.
But hey, it's coming out on Game Pass.
I mean, you don't got any exclusives. You need as many things on Game Pass as possible.
Shut the fuck up. But yeah, anyway, moving on to my second pick. The game I remember playing on a PC. Most terrifying game I ever played, ever. Well, I'll be lying if I said it wasn't that scary. But it was fucking creepy as shit. I know that much. Don't let the box fool you. Called Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. It's finally coming out. Finally coming out on consoles.
I watch gameplay of it myself, to be completely honest. I just know the meme. I know every streamer that's on YouTube has been playing the shit out of this, especially Game Grumps. Game Grumps has been playing the shit out of that game, and there's like a mystique of it that everyone was just fucking attracted to. It's like the Denken Rumpa games.
Yeah,
it's like I see it from a distance. It's like nothing ever made me want to go. I was never curious, but based on your expressions, I'm guessing I'm saved by my lack of curiosity.
Hey, look, that's the thing about it, because you look at the cover, you're like, oh, it's one of the visual novel games, which it is.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's not what you think. I can tell you, because I was totally thrown off by it. Wasn't expecting that. Like, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It's a game you just got to play it. Just play it once, play it once. Say that
on
you
a
did.
dare.
Not even on a dare. I was like, it wasn't like I was trying to look at something.
Smoke a bit, drink a bit, then play some Doki Doki Literature Club.
I wouldn't even do that, because I'll tell you now, you're just in for a ride. It's coming out on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation.
This could be out on the Switch.
Yeah,
why?
It's that damn good of a game. Okay,
have you
played it?
I vaguely know the gist of what to expect out of it. I have not played it though.
Yeah, so don't think you're gonna be in here just being on a dating simulator game. I can tell you that now. It ain't no dating simulator. So, and you're
okay,
not,
all right.
and you're not reading books either.
Yeah. Okay, so hitting on this is still one of Roy's, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it, because I think that out of the two of us, the last person to actually play a 2D Metroid game was me.
Which one did you play?
I don't know. Super Metroid. That was the last one I remember.
Whoa. Which Super Metroid are we talking about here? We talking about the one on the Super NES?
On the Super NES.
All right, I beat you then. The last one I played was Fusion on Game Boy Advance.
All right.
Okay.
All right. It's been a decade, I think they said. Nintendo announced the first 2D Metroid title in,
I want to say 20 years. 20 years. Because if we're talking about Game Boy Advance, I kind of remember growing up with that in high school, and that was around 2001. And I'm talking about the original Game Boy Advance that didn't have a light.
I remember.
So you're like trying to
it wasn't backlit. Oh god.
Yeah.
Kids don't know shit.
So I'm like, I can't see this boss, Oh my god, it's horrible. But yeah, I can't wait for this game. It was kind of a shocker, because they announced Metroid Prime 4. We're expecting Metroid Prime 4, and they show us a 2D Metroid. I'm like, this thing's not gonna fill me over. I want Metroid Prime, but I'm excited about it. I'm actually, because I was like, they threw me off in the beginning of the trailer. It's like not actual gameplay. I'm like, oh, why are you gonna show it to me then? I want to. And then they whipped out the gameplay half of the trailer. I'm like, okay, kind of different, different vibe than the previous ones.
It looks clean. It looks clean. That's for sure.
Yep.
But to round it off on our picks of the things that we liked out of this E3, go ahead, Roy. What you got?
Oh man, you're gonna be shocked by this because one that's gonna pull me back in a while. After their last Microsoft conference, it kind of looked like shit. And
this ain't a surprise.
Yeah, and they got me not with the multiplayer side. I'm always down for the multiplayer. The story, because that's what's going to get me hooked back into this universe. Because after Guardians, I was like, I'm done with this shit. But Halo Infinite, it's got me intrigued because they're talking about Cortana again. And like I said, I didn't finish the fucking Guardians, so I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened in that. But they saying Cortana got deleted. I'm like, no.
That's because she went crazy.
Yeah.
So, truth be told, if I had to be completely honest, I did also really think that the multiplayer trailer that they showed off for Halo Infinite was great. Like, it was very impressive. Like, but Halo multiplayer has always been fun and exciting. Like the notion that they've made some visual changes and added a few more elements, like the ability to reflect bullets. That's cool. I thought it looked good. I can't say I was necessarily impressed. Like the thing that Halo Infinite needed to prove was that the story mode, the campaign looked good. And what we saw was a cutscene. Let's be honest. That's not what got memed to hell. What got memed to hell was the actual gameplay for that campaign, and they did not show that at all.
Mm-mm.
But saying all that, a really good move that's going to make a lot of people happy. Halo Infinite's multiplayer is completely separate from the campaign and 100% free.
Yeah, which I found interesting because when they were announcing that, I was like, wait a minute, so is not the campaign going to be on Game Pass? Because now do I have to pay for that? But they really showed you this whole game is pretty much going to be on Game Pass. Just the multiplayer is free to play. You can just go ahead, pull up your Xbox or your PC, download the multiplayer, and be good to go.
Yep.
Which I'm happy for. I just hope they don't do a battle royale. I'm done with battle royale games for the moment. I say
what? Wait, what about Final Fantasy: The First Soldier?
Why are you gonna show that at Square Enix conference where it was pretty much the same fucking shit?
Wait. Okay, we're gonna get to the bitching in a second because I got plenty to bitch about. Finish up. What are your other thoughts about Halo? Like, I understand you were getting really sold on the story, and I never really ever thought the story was the strong part of Halo at any point. With the campaigns, it really wasn't the story that grabbed me. It was the excitement, the solid gameplay that we got out of it, and the replayability. Like how branching up the difficulty even slightly felt like it changed the game and changed how you had to play the campaign. Like that's what I love about the Halo franchise.
Yeah.
Like if you're excited for the story, more power to you. But like I played Halo 4, and what they did to that dude at the end of Halo 4, where they killed him off like between games. It's like the whole game was about that dude building up to his reveal, and I think he's just dead. Nah, I'm sorry. You can't get me on Halo's story no more.
They pulled a Snoke on his ass like in Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah, they did. They did.
But I mean, all I can say, don't fuck it up. This is, and we still don't have a release date. They just said holiday 2021. So hopefully this damn game comes out in like October, November, December. You're fucking pushing it.
At this point, let's go ahead and get our grievances out there. Because there's a lot about this E3 season that was just, why the hell did you do this? Like, all of Capcom was shit. I'm sorry. There was no point in having a press conference. Namco Bandai. Like, I wouldn't say that there's a ton of games that are underneath their belt at the moment. They have Scarlet Nexus, they have Tales of Arise, and they have a new fighter.
Elden Ring. Elden Ring's
in production.
Elden Ring.
Bando Net.
Yeah, that's
not Bando.
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yes, it is.
No, that's From Software. Is From Software underneath?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, my bad. But still, like specifically, they were scheduled to have a presentation, and it was one game. They did an interview afterwards, and nothing else. It's like I waited all this time for this.
Now you tell me, because you think the Sonic.
They had a 30-minute pre-show on IGN. I'm sorry. They had a 30-minute pre-show on IGN, and the presentation lasted 15 fucking minutes.
So you tell me the Sonic stream was worse? No. Sonic actually had some shit you can actually look
no, Sonic had shit to show off, at least. Oh, like shit that we didn't know about already. Capcom just literally was like, hey, let's show these games that we already have.
Like, I'm glad that we didn't make no prediction videos, because I'm so excited for Capcom. I was like, okay, we're gonna see Resident Evil DLC, we're gonna see the leak shit that got leaked. You know, I'm hoping for Resident Evil Outbreak remake.
We didn't do a prediction. We did a prediction of shit that was not going to be there. And apart from one thing I said, I think we got everything else right. I said there was going to be a Smash character reveal.
I mean, the game stuff is still going on. It's not over yet. We still got until July, where EA finally shows up and be like, hey, we got some games over here, you know. But Square Enix's
I hope you like it. I hope you like that Madden game you're playing, because it's going to be obsolete in a month.
Yeah, but Square Enix's conference, man.
Give us $70, please.
Yeah, Square, come on, man.
No,
come on, man. Yo,
Square Enix, man. They could have showed off. They could have showed off a remixed video for Final Fantasy XIV's new expansion, and they didn't. They could have given us like 7 seconds of new shit from Final Fantasy 16, and they didn't. They put the same old shit in B-roll at the end, but they wasted our fucking time with mobile games.
All right. Hold
and re-releases of the first 6 Final Fantasies that have already been re-released. Nothing's changed about them. Why?
But other than those bullshit moments from Square, all right, Avengers. I'm all hyped about it, you know. Black Panther, could care less about him. You know, I want to see what's beyond Black Panther. Didn't get an answer to that. It's just Black Panther. Not even a
roadmap. This is a game to service, something that's supposed to continuously update with content, and they couldn't even give their players a roadmap. Like all 6 of them.
Yeah, like at this point, I'm like, yo, just drop all these goddamn characters you got playing at this point.
Hey,
you know.
Remember when we were supposed to be getting Spider-Man?
Where the fuck is Spider-Man? You know. And then okay, you show us Life is Strange.
Hold on. I just want to point something out. I know what you're really waiting for, man. I know why you're still loyal to this fucking game. You are waiting for Miss Marvel for Captain Marvel. I'm sorry, man. This game's going to die before she ever shows up. It's practically already dead. It's on life support at the moment. They just haven't pulled the plug. And you're not going to get there.
At this point, I just want her in so I can do some photo mode shots. You know, come on, man. Give me Captain Marvel. But yeah.
And we've added. They've added DLC where they added Captain Marvel's statue to the very beginning of the game. So as Mrs. Marvel, you could take shots with the statue of Captain Marvel. That's all you're gonna get.
Fuck you. But yeah, Life is Strange. Okay, you know, show us a little bit of the remastered collection and some new showing us how the powers work. That's cool. I can deal with that.
Hold up. I saw a side by side. The visuals for the first Life is Strange game look identical. Nothing about it looks better. Nothing about it seems remastered.
It's different. Trust me. I don't know which video you saw, but I could see the difference between the textures and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, but at the same time, you're not telling me anything new. You know, you're not showing me a
No, not really.
brand new trailer. And for a
At
game
the
like,
very least, they could have showed us more of that, like that cover from the first trailer.
yeah, something like that.
Drop it on Spotify or something.
Yeah, but I mean, it was fine. But I mean, I can see why you want to show a new trailer because that's also a story driven game. You don't want to spoil anything. But the last thing Square had to show that was already leaked, but pretty much confirmed near the end. I know you want to say it. Fuck it. Oh my god. What is it called?
Final Fantasy. Oh no, I'm sorry. Stranger from Paradise or For Paradise. Final Fantasy Origins. Who cares what the fuck it's called? It's called a giant waste of fucking time. This is about, for one. let's just break this shit down. This is supposed to be a remake of the first Final Fantasy game, reimagined by Team Ninja, whom I'm sorry are the, like, if you ever saw the lead, the lead developer of Team Ninja, he is a 50-year-old edgelord, and they made this into the edgiest of edgelord games. This main character looks like he's Duke Nukem, but on like meth.
But yeah,
he has 3 words he likes to say: chaos, darkness, and chaos.
Which I went back and
He's
watched
like expert dialogue.
I went back and watched the trailer because I was like, how many fucking times did he say chaos? I think he said it maybe like 8 or 9 times in that trailer in the short span of like a 60-second trailer clip. But it was funny because I was driving and I had the stream on the background so I can listen on to it. I was like, just in case some big announcement so I can get excited. And I'm like, chaos. We must kill chaos. Are you chaos? I'm like, what the fuck is this game? And I look down and I'm like, oh, this is that damn one that's supposed to be like a Soulsborne kind of game. And I'm like,
that's actually the thing that gets me. It's like, you're the guy who actually plays the Souls games. I'm not, but already I can tell this isn't a fucking Souls game. This is a third-person action game. The closest you could attribute to it would be like Ninja Gaiden or God of War. But the kicker, though, is that they seem to be trying to make this main character do executions on the enemies. Like at a certain point, you can get them and you can finish them off, and it's like kind of cinematic. Think God of War, like specifically in both God of War and in this title, there's an enemy type that's like a wolf or a werewolf or something, and both characters try to pry their jaw apart and then rip them. The kicker is that anytime that this guy tries to execute any of these monsters, they burst into red crystal and shatter. And while some people might think that's cool, me growing up with games being growing up through the ESRB's creation, I know that is just a telltale sign that they wanted this game to be M-rated. They wanted it to be blood and guts, and someone said no. So the crystals are just a creative stand-in for blood. And at that point, it just looks goofy. At that point, it looks immature. It's the Saturday morning cartoon show that's trying to be the edgy like adult fiction or something.
Well, here's the even more icing on the cake. The demo comes out.
I kept meaning to download it just so I could try.
Before that, mine downloaded. Go to boot it up. I was like, I'm gonna give this game a chance. Chaos and all. Go to play.
Did you smell the darkness?
I boot it up, and it won't start. It kicks me back to the main menu. I'm like, what the fuck? Start it up again. Same problem. We'll go online.
Yeah.
Even Square Enix acknowledges there's an issue with the demo, and it doesn't work. So right now, I mean, some people have played it. I mean, I think they probably did fix it.
They did send out a notification today that the demo was fixed and people could play it now.
So yeah, I'm gonna try it tomorrow, and
people are already memeing the side characters too. Like we're making fun of the main character that the player play as, but he's got what people are referring to as a pink-haired Prompto, and they already have assumed that he's annoying. And the token Final Fantasy Black guy at this point, it's like this. Does Square not? I mean, does Square think that all black men sound like that? Because he's like Diet Barrett from Final Fantasy VII at this point.
Yeah, but other than E3 stuff, what have you been playing?
Oh, I
Oh, you mean this little game right here? Which I haven't,
yeah.
which I played a little bit of it, but there's a reason why I've only played a little bit of it. Because during E3 this week, Sunday, a game that I've been looking forward to, that I did a playthrough on this channel. It's in one of my indie showcase games. Is they shadow drop Minute of Islands, and I finally get to play this damn game. I beat it today. It's a good damn game. It's emotional.
Okay.
It's an emotional game. Now, don't think this is like a kiddie game at any point, because it's got it looks like Adventure Time, and it is not. But I mean, it's very reminiscent to me of Loon.
Okay.
I mean, besides you're not playing
yeah, but some fucked up shit happened. I remember some fucked up shit happened.
So I mean, there's fucked up shit that happens in this game, and it has dark themes and stuff like that. I highly recommend it if you ever get a chance to try it. I'm gonna try my best. Don't quote me. I'm gonna try my best to make a video review for this game. I've been recording stuff. I've been screen capturing stuff. Hopefully, I can get this review out. But going back to you and Ratchet & Clank.
Oh man. To say that it deserves all the praise. I love this game. It's just like, at first it felt like the movement for both the characters felt a bit sluggish, but that was really because they drop or feed you more movement abilities to really help you get going. But how they remain as creative as they are when it comes to their weapon designs, I don't know. But there was so much about this game that I was impressed with. Like I love that I was pleasantly surprised that they maintained the story rather than just like spinning off of the one title that we got on the PlayStation. The writing, we got nods, we got like digs at itself for taking so long to come up with another game. We got nods to all the classic uh franchises that were acted like semi-rivals to Ratchet and Clank through the PlayStation 2 era. Um, I was really hoping for more of a crossover, but who knows? We might get that later down the line.
Don't spoil it. Yeah.
Oh,
not
sorry.
say I'm not the one that already beat the game. Well, I say when like I said, I was in a rush to play Minute of Islands. I was like, I gotta play this game. I want to beat it before I jump back into Ratchet and Clank. So now I beat it. I'm gonna go back to Ratchet and Clank, and then we'll.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I was so surprised that I'd gotten to the end, because it's not like it's a short game. Almost every planet honestly felt pretty dense and huge. And I milked every single one of them for as much as it was worth. Every game has always had collectibles, and it's funny, they've actually introduced a new one that they keep severely hidden, and the ones that were mainstays of the game, as long as you pay attention, you can find them pretty easily without even using the in-game hints that they have in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, this is actually a PlayStation 5 title. There are in-game hints. But I loved it. I loved how they introduced uh steadily increased difficulty settings that you can set up from the beginning. I like the 60 frames per second and the ray tracing. It's gorgeous. Never had any kind of issue or flaw. I'm like, I literally beat the game just today, and before we started recording, I was about to plow right back into it again. And that's always my hallmarker of a really great game. It's something that you could beat, you could watch through the whole credits because you're hoping that there's some kind of like after credit scene, and then it's like, let's play again.
Yeah,
So that's it. That's essentially it.
Yeah, I just started playing as Rivet, so I'm not far, but I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I'm giving it a chance. So once I'm done with it, we can finally do our review together for this game.
All right.
You know, break
Okay.
down about like scene by scene kind of deal.
Yeah. Sounds great. Till then, if you've stuck with if you stuck with us for this entire thing, thank you so much. I'm hoping that everybody else at least found some kind of enjoyment out of E3 this season. And hey, if anything, next year's gonna have a lot of stuff, a lot of shit to show off, a lot of releases.
God of War, give me God of War.
If only. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked, go ahead and hit the like button. Drop a comment down below. What was your favorite thing from E3 this season? Was it Elden Ring? Because that's what everyone else is saying. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell notification so you know that when we're putting out more videos. I've been Azzy. That's been Roy. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Deuces.